True love is God's love for us, not our love for God. God sent his son to die in our place to take away our sins. 1 John 4, verse 10. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I constructed the gray wig that I had on in my previous videos. If you're interested, stay tuned. And if you're new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, first, disclaimer. I am not a hairstylist nor am I a hairdresser. I just like making my own wigs sometimes. So yeah, don't critique me too hardcore. So the first thing I'm showing you guys is the mesh cap that I'm going to be sewing on my wefts to. And that is the mesh cap. And yeah, my little foam head looks beat up, but don't mind it. I haven't got myself an actual dome head to do my wigs on because I rarely make wigs, so there's no need to get it one right now. But if I'm going to be showing you guys how to make wigs, I'm going to have to get one, so yeah. Now I'm placing my frontal on top of my cap, and when I'm placing my frontal on top of my cap, I'm placing it like a ½ an inch in front of the cap. When you do this, it's just going to make your frontal lay completely flat when you're sewing it down, and when your wig is done, it's just going to look way better. Like, it took me forever to learn how to do this, and trust me, doing this, your wig will come out like bomb, okay? Your frontal matters. How you place your frontal, it matters. Right here, I'm just showing you guys how I secured each side of the frontal before I started sewing it down. You want to make sure that you're actually dragging the frontal to each side to its complete like stretch. Not like really dragging it to tear it, but like dragging it so like you're not having lumps within your frontal before you sew it down. Okay, so now I'm just sewing down my frontal. I don't really have a specific technique of how I sew my frontal down. All I do, I just push the needle through and then I loop it so that the needle's in the middle, so it's kind of like secured. That helps with the security of it. But honestly, I don't really have a special technique of what I do to keep it like secured. I'm not like the best sewer out here or whatever, but y'all, when I get there, I'll give y'all all the info, okay? So follow me as I grow. And another important tip, whenever you're sewing on your wefts or your frontal to your dome cap, never ever push your needle through the elastic band. Never. Just don't do it. It's going to mess up the elasticity in the elastic band and your wig will be loose. So just try your best not to push it through it. And you guys, when I say like don't push your needle through the elastic band, I also mean like don't sew through it because it's going to mess up the elastic band. Okay, as you guys can see, the frontal is laying flat and smooth, and next I'm going to be sewing down the wefts. Okay, to start off sewing in the wefts, I don't really do anything too much different than how I do the frontal. All I do, I just knot my thread that's on my needle and then I push it through the cap itself, and then afterwards when the needle's already through, I push it through the wefts. and then I just draw it all the way through, as you see right here. But other than that, it's not really different than how I was doing the frontal. I'm doing the exact same method as I was doing the frontal, the sewing method. The only thing that's a little different is how I started the threading, the whole threading, like pushing the needle through first. Yeah, I didn't do that first, but yeah, that's the only difference. And if you guys are getting like a little frustrated with your track like falling all over the place while you're sewing it, you can just T-pin it to the other side so it's not slipping and sliding all over the place. Okay, so I'm now finishing up my 4th track before I continue on with the rest. So I'm just going to show you guys this last little part, and then afterwards I'm going to show you guys how I finish up at the top. Okay, so when you're done sewing down all your tracks should look exactly like this. Nice, flat, and seamless. So now I am pretty much at the very top of the wig, and a tip I want to give you guys: never sew your tracks onto your frontal while constructing your wig, because you're going to go through a process of wanting to change your frontal and redo it, because your frontal is eventually gonna get old and you're gonna have to change it. So to make that process so much easier without going through the hassle of just creating a brand new wig all over again, just leave a little space in between the frontal and the tracks, so that when your frontal does get old, you can easily just cut the frontal off and then you have that space to add a new one. So I'm finally sewing down the last track, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like as soon as I'm finished. So as you guys can see, I did not sew down the track or attach the track to the frontal. I have that little gap, so it's not connected to it. So yeah, that's exactly what you want your tracks that's closest to your frontal to look like. So my wig is pretty much finished. The only step left that we have left to do is to cut that little black meshy part off. And y'all, this part is so critical because it could literally make or break your wig. So you want to make sure you're not going too close, but you're not too far from the threads, because you don't want to see people to see that black cap underneath your wig. So you want to take your time when you're doing this, so you're not accidentally cutting the threads and then your wig is just falling apart. Y'all, I went through it, and I'm praying that if y'all go through it when you guys are making your wigs, because it's a headache. Okay, take your time when doing this. So this is pretty much the final product of your wig. The only steps that you have left is to customize the frontal and curl it, style it, however you want to style it. So pretty much I'm going to show you guys the style of the wig. Okay, wow. The style of the wig of what I did. I pretty much cut it into a bob. I don't have that footage, unfortunately, because it was such a headache. It was my first time cutting hair into a bob. My husband had to help me and everything. So next time I'm gonna do a video like that so you guys can learn how to do it with me. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of this video. I hope you guys loved it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.